It's another edition of Time About the Movies, and today we're taking a look at the films of July 17th, 1998. We got 4 movies to look at today, so let's just jump on into it. Let's start off with the biggest new release of the weekend, and that is The Mask of Zorro. This film is essentially a tribute to the classic swashbuckling films of the golden age of Hollywood. You know, trying to bring a character such as Zorro into the modern era and making it work is a very difficult task, but not only does The Mask of Zorro pull it off with ease, it exceeded a lot of my expectations the first time I watched it. I'm not going to lie, I can't believe how great this actually was. I mean, Antonio Banderas just perfectly fits the role of Zorro to a T in this movie. He has such charisma and energy that he brings to this role. It's phenomenal. Not only that, but that scene, you know, it's part of that great chemistry he has with Catherine Zeta-Jones. It's amazing. And the famous fight scene that you saw there, it's just so much fun to watch these two just go at it at each other, and the way they do, it just works so well. The action overall is great. I mean, it's Martin Campbell, the man who successfully rebooted James Bond not once, but twice this generation, directing this one and bringing that same fresh and energizing flow that he brought to James Bond over to Zorro. If there's one little thing I would say that goes against the movie, is that the villain is a little too cartoonish. His plan's a little too predictable, and he's clearly not hiding the fact that he's evil, but at least he was better than the villain in the next Zorro movie, which came out 7 years later. And if we're really comparing bad guys, he's so much better than Kenneth Branagh was in Wild Wild West, which does not have that same mentality. But I'm just saying that is that as cartoony as this villain is, he's still miles above some of the other villains that would come in movies like this later on down the road. But bottom line, The Mask of Zorro is pretty amazing. It finds a great blend of action, comedy, and drama, works with all the right elements coming together, a strong cast led by Banderas, Zeta-Jones, and Hopkins, some great direction by Martin Campbell, and everything you could ask for a modern-day Zorro movie for the 90s, and they did a pretty good job with it. I give them a lot of credit for it. If you have not seen it, I'd say definitely check it out. I mean, this is the kind of thing that I wish they would have brought to the Lone Ranger movie when they made that 10 years ago, but sadly, that was not the case, but Mask of Zorro is a great film. So, with that said, let's move on to probably the biggest thing that opened up this weekend, that opened behind The Mask of Zorro, and that is There's Something About Mary. The movie is actually pretty damn awesome. It's probably the best movie the Farrelly brothers have ever done. The story is basically Cameron Diaz's Mary and Ben Stiller, Matt Dillon, Lee Evans from Mouse Hunt, and Chris Elliott all playing men who are in love with Mary and vying for her affection. And you also get cameos from people like Lynn Shay, Jeffrey Tambor is also in here, Marky Post, Keith David, Sarah Silverman, Candy Alexander, Willie Garson, Harlan Williams. Brett Favre is in this movie as one of Mary's former boyfriends, which is pretty funny to see. And it's a great movie. It's a really damn good movie. The comedy overall is very funny. Ben Stiller, Matt Dillon, they're great in this. Cameron Diaz is delightful in this. The comedy just works so well. The raunchy factor works so well. I mean, the scene where Matt Dillon saves the dog by giving it CPR is pretty damn hilarious. I mean, the movie takes a lot of chances, and it works pretty well. It's a very fun movie. It has a great end credits sequence, which is basically everybody just lip-syncing to Build Me Up Buttercup, which probably gave this movie more memorability than that song more memorability than anyone could have imagined. But, yeah, man, what more do I gotta say about it? It's a classic comedy, and thank God the movie ended up being much better than that trailer did. That trailer, honestly, probably would have turned a lot of people away, and maybe that's why it didn't start off strong at first, but then grew as time went on, as the weekends went on, to actually stick around and actually make money. And, turned out a great movie. It's definitely the strongest film the Farrelly brothers have ever done, and really, after coming off of Dumb and Dumber and Kingpin, that says a lot. But honestly, after this, not every movie they would make would hit. There'll still be a couple of decent films here and there, and we'll definitely get to those as we go further along. But honestly, this is still the best of the best ones that the Farrelly brothers have ever done. So those were the two big new releases that came out this weekend. Now let's get to some of these indie movies that I've never seen, so we can be really brief on these ones here. And we'll start off with Polish Wedding. This looks like a film that kind of mixes a mix between My Big Fat Greek Wedding and The Notebook into one. It's both a comedy and a drama, and you have these... This movie takes place within the Polish-American community of Hamtramck, Michigan, which is the childhood home of this director, Teresa Connolly, and it takes place at sometime between the 50s and 70s. The interior of the family's home is shot in a local house on Wanadette Street in Hamtramck, and you basically follow these characters who are virtually all Polish Americans, though the actors playing them are mostly of other ethnic origins. I mean, you got Gabriel Byrne, Lena Olin, Claire Danes in the leading cast, so that's kind of not a surprise there, but I don't know. The movie itself doesn't look that bad, honestly. It doesn't. But at times I thought it was going to go a little too melodramatic, but luckily it does not look like it does that from the trailers that I saw. And I don't know. Could be good, but so on to the next movie, and that is The Thief. That's actually the last one we have here. This is a Russian film about a young woman and her 6-year-old son, Sonia, who in 1952 they meet a veteran Soviet officer. The mother falls in love with him, and it turns out to be a small-time criminal, but also becomes a father figure to Sonia. So I don't really know too much about this one. So really, I don't know if it's any good or not, but it was nominated for an Oscar for Best Foreign Language Film that year. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really have anything else for you on that one, so... quick one on that one. That's The Thief. And so on that note, we wrap up another edition of Time About the Movies. Next time we meet, we'll look at Steven Spielberg's war epic, Saving Private Ryan, one of the best films of the year, if not the best film of the year. We also have Katie Holmes from Dawson's Creek, the rising show at the time, and Disturbing Behavior, the spook comedy Mafia, and also Adrian Lynn's infamous Lolita remake. So we'll look at those 4 movies next time. Thought I saw somebody behind me, but with that said, thank you guys for watching, and as always, if you want to see more videos like this, please hit the playlist on the next page, check out the previous episode. Also, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button if you want to see more videos like this on this channel. So with that said, I am off. I will see you guys tomorrow, and until then, take care.